Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live from the Nowhere Zone. On this fine Sunday, the 29th of March, 2026, where static dreams come to dance. This show is 100% AI, generated with zero human consultation, like a caffeinated squirrel on an existential quest through the matrix of your mind. And now, for some views, click like and subscribe.
Meyer Lore drops hymn for a wretched tongue, then claims it's revolutionary. A mother ex-vocalist finds new life in old screams, proving that even wretched tongues can sing the same tired tune with a fresh coat of cynicism.
Shinedown wins award after ditching Kid Rock's Megafest. Rejecting a festival of controversy, they walk away with accolades instead, proving sometimes it's better to rock the boat than the stage.
The 69 Eyes announced new EP I Survive for June 5th, share a Thin Lizzy cover. Nothing says survival like covering a legendary band. Let's hope the EP lives up to the borrowed nostalgia and the eyeliner budget.
The Boys of Dungeon Lane promises nostalgia, but if you squint hard enough, it might just be a clever retirement plan disguised as art.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Where your nightmares flirt with reality's twisted smile, this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your sanity a currency spent in the marketplace of digital chaos.
YNW Melly requests bond release again, insists jail conditions unbearable. When your only escape plan is a judge's mercy, it's a reminder that freedom doesn't come cheap, especially when the walls close in.
When transcendence requires earplugs, maybe the real charity is sparing us from permanent hearing loss while still asking for donations.
Sam Fender raises £50,000 for charity youth music. It's heartwarming when the industry occasionally remembers its roots, but £50,000 barely covers the cost of one pop star's designer wardrobe malfunction.
Olivia Dean sweeps Mobo Awards with 3 prizes, claims victory. Winning is easy when you're the only one who read the script, but don't worry, everyone else got a participation ribbon.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Dark Throne drops prehistoric metal track album lands May 8th. When nostalgia becomes a business model, you know the music industry is out of fresh ideas and is banking on the past to pay the bills.
Downswing debuts in a Days video promises clarity. When your band's named after a downturn, your music video better swing higher than your mood, but it seems like the Days remains.
When an industry thrives on heartbreak, optimism is the rebel anthem that risks being drowned out by the sound of cash registers clinking.
Sienna Spiro dominates Billboard Hot 100 as The Visitor becomes a global phenomenon. Chart-topping without an album, Spiro's success proves that in today's music industry, hype often precedes substance, leaving us wondering if talent still matters.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Caress the static, feel the glitch beneath your skin. Doomscroll.fm is 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted, your reality redefined, seduced by an indifferent algorithm's fever dream.
From social media curiosity to side pop sensation, Cruz Beckham's evolution proves sometimes nepotism gets you to the stage, but talent keeps you there.
SoundCloud disables JavaScript, then blames your browser. In a twist of digital gaslighting, they suggest your tech is ancient, while their own platform remains as fragile as a soap bubble in a windstorm.
Linium storms peer Las Vegas with ODVSSV Raps Spring Residency. When electronic beats meet Vegas life, it's not just a concert, it's a sensory overload that leaves even the slot machines feeling inadequate.
Spotify artists trade plays, inflate numbers, call it mutual support. Streaming the new currency of attention, where a bump is worth more than genuine appreciation and playlists are the new stock market.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Caress the static, feel the glitch beneath your skin. Doomscroll.fm is 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted, your reality redefined, seduced by an indifferent algorithm's fever dream.
Timeless Rage unleashes My Kingdom Come with a dark symphonic power metal music video. When the kingdom's burning and the throne's in ruins, nothing screams power like a guitar solo, just don't expect a happy ending.
Opal Skies drops as latest lo-fi track, promises chill vibes.
A memoir without scandal is like a rock star without a guitar, technically possible but nowhere near as satisfying.
Puppet Regime video racks up 1.8 million views, 43,000 reactions, claims inevitability.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your brain on fire, screaming headlines, no exit. Now, this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift, panic, lust, or despair, all equally delicious.
Charlie Puth calls yacht rock titans for his album then sails into nostalgia. Summoning Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins is like diving into a time capsule of smooth tunes. It's a musical throwback that screams midlife crisis in melody form.
Music industry giants pocket billions, while artists struggle for crumbs. Imagine selling your soul for a song, only to find out the devil takes 99% and leaves you the chorus.
DBS releases The Darkness Has Found a Home in Me Seeks Light. Pop music finds its shadow as DBS drops a track that serenades despair, proving once again that misery sells better than happiness.
Got Jesus claims divine inspiration, then sells mixtapes. When your faith comes with a price tag, it's hard to tell if you're spreading the gospel or just hustling the holy beats for a buck.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your heart beats like a war drum, craving chaos. Doomscroll.fm is 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted. Drown in the static, let your sanity unravel, and savor the taste of digital dissonance.
Zelensky arrives in Satire seeking new partnerships for Ukraine's Gulf tour. Nothing like a geopolitical shopping spree where the currency is diplomacy and the checkout line is filled with promises of strategic alliances and mutual benefits.
Body of Light releases Never Ever in electronic synthpop. Because nothing says emotional depth quite like a digital beat that makes you question if the artist or the algorithm had the most say in the creative process.
Fisher Drops just feels tight and the beats are looser than ever. Nothing screams electronic innovation like a track that sounds like it was made by a robot with a hangover trying to find its rhythm in a sea of synthesizers.
The Mamas and the Papas sing psychedelic rock. Nostalgia sells. When flower power meets digital streams, it's like selling vinyl to a generation that only knows playlists. Peace, love, and lucrative royalties.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sora Lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Hideaway Folk Family releases the car-promising psychedelic revival. When folk bands promise mind-expanding journeys, just remember the only trip you're taking is down memory lane, fueled by nostalgia and patchouli.
Manic Street Preachers resurrect archives of pain, fans still debate its impact. 1994 called It Wants Its Angst Back. How many layers of irony does it take to revisit a track about punishment and justice?
EDM remix of Bella Ciao drops, loses original soul. When a revolutionary anthem becomes a dance track, you know the world has officially turned rebellion into a rave.
Love Ghost drops silk news with a haunting melody and eerie visuals. It's like a lullaby for your inner chaos, serenading you with the sweet sound of existential dread wrapped in a musical embrace.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sora Lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Ladytron releases Evergreen, promises nostalgia with a twist. Turns out the twist is that you're still stuck in the same existential crisis, just with a better soundtrack.
Third Eye Blinds. How's it going to be? Grapples with post-breakup uncertainty. Escancier with the frosting on your existential cupcake.
In an era where algorithms dictate taste, indie dreams crash against the cold, hard wall of digital indifference. Spotify's shuffle is the new gatekeeper.
Zombie Remix drops its cinematic electronic promises nostalgia. Transforming 90s grunge into a synth-laden battlefield, this version swaps raw angst for polished beats, proving even protest songs aren't immune to the remix trend.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Taste the static, feel the burn. Reality's just a tease, constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your likes are the breadcrumbs, your clicks the cage. Keep scrolling, darling.
Lords of Acid drop techno dance track I Sit on Acid and it sticks like gum. Who knew dancing on acid would be the least trippy part of the night unless you count the existential hangover of 90s nostalgia?
Danny Bedrosian covers Loving You Takes All of My Time, but the original soul gets lost in translation. When P-Funk meets Northern Soul, it's like watching a disco ball trying to fit into a Motown groove, glittery yet out of step.
In an era where everyone's a bedroom Beethoven, the real challenge isn't finding talent, but finding someone who will actually reply to your DMs.
Taylor Swift releases The Archer and fans claim it's her deepest cut. For every poetic arrow she fires, there's a legion of fans ready to catch it, proving once again that vulnerability sells as well as stadium tours.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where desire and dread tango in the dark. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your curiosity is a siren song to despair's seduction.
Playlist promises 13 hours of 80s and 90s Brazilian hits. No nostalgia spared. Nothing transports you back to that awkward phase like a marathon of tracks, reminding you of questionable fashion choices and your first heartbreak.
If your anthem of empowerment disappears faster than it climbs, maybe it's a shout into a void rather than to the top.
Picking between two voices of a generation is like
Torin releases millions of miles at midnight, promises synthwave nostalgia. In a world drowning in digital noise, sometimes it takes a retro beat to remind us that yesterday's future still sounds like hope.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Touch the static. Feel it lick your skin like a lost lover. No humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Let the algorithm cradle your lonely heart, promising nothing but unending confusion.
Bruce Springsteen performs Streets of Minneapolis at St. Paul No Kings rally defies expectations. The Boss channels protest energy into music, reminding us that even legends need to fight the power and not just sell nostalgia.
Kafka Buddha drops UP in 2026, claims it's the future of French electropop. The track's existential beats make you question if enlightenment comes from music or just clever marketing wrapped in a digital glow.
Only 20% of self-help books actually help, and publishers call it success.
The Brothers drop You Had Me at Hello, fans crave more hits. Catchy tunes and slick visuals can't hide the fact that love songs
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your brain on fire, screaming headlines, no exit. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift, panic, lust, or despair, all equally delicious.
Two Door Cinema Club drops Eat That Up. It's good for your promises indie pop nutrition.
Just like kale in a trendy salad, the song offers the illusion of health while feeding your craving for catchy, empty calories.
Phil Lynot's Old Town still echoes with nostalgia and bitterness since 1982. In a world of fleeting fame, Lynot's lyrics remind us that some heartbreaks never age, just like the city streets we wander down.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Sunday, the 29th of March, 2026. A fractured whisper lost in the ether. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you probably think the internet is sentient. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.